America and Israel are on the verge of losing the Iranian war, and this is why. First, the greatest lesson from history. America never won any wars through invasion. Even the invasion of Vietnamese in 1955 that ended in 1975, it was due to the fall of Golan. And it claimed a lot of American soldiers, up nearly 60,000, and claimed nearly 3 million both soldiers and civilians from Vietnam. But now, look at Afghanistan, look at Iraq, look at those countries, they were just left destabilized. Same thing that happened to Libya and so many other countries. So what gave Washington the notion of winning the Iranian war? Perhaps it could be the capturing of Venezuela's President Nicolas Maduro, because that operation, it was swift, it was with precision, and they did it. So many people have been believing that the Iran, US, and Israel war will end quickly, but that is not what we are seeing until now. So there goes Washington. They were given fake intel by the Israeli military that after they assassinate Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei, the Iranian system will be collapsing by Monday morning. But that's not what we've been seeing happening. Because in Iran, the Supreme Leader is not just a one man. It's a structure of power that is backed by both political and religious structure. That's why, even after the assassination of its Supreme Leader, they were capable of activating their constitutional backup system that has the current President Massoud, the Chief Justice Gholam, and the cleric leader Ali Reza. I believe I pronounced his name correctly. And they are supposed to take over the leadership council until they can select the new supreme leader, who allegedly is supposed to be Ali Khamenei's second son, Mojtaba Khamenei. So instead of the system collapsing, it just got well reinstated with a younger version of Khamenei, who believes that Iran should be having a nuclear program. And now, the battlefield is changing towards the economics and military mathematics. And this is where the US is going to lose. Because if you look at the major Middle East US allies, they are losing when they are intercepting the Iranian missiles. Because Iran is playing with the games of mathematics. Iran is launching cheap drones at an estimated cost of $20,000 to $30,000 per drone, with the US and its allies spending about $4 million with one missile interceptor to intercept a cheap drone that is costing about $30,000. So now you can see why this mathematics is not making sense. Somebody is going to get exhausted, either economically, because these missile interceptors, they are not easy to replace. They take time. How many drones do you think that Iran could be holding? Because for them to replace drones that are worth 20,000 and 30,000, they are very easy to replace, unlike the missile interceptors. So it is said that for you to intercept one drone, remember these are cheap drones, you need 2 missiles that are supposed to intercept, so that if one misses, the other one has a chance of hitting the drone. So means they are losing about 4 to 10 million for them to intercept a drone that is only worth $20,000. And I continue to say this is not making sense, and that's why somebody is going to get economically exhausted. And the US cannot continue to support this. And the only way they are going to win the Iranian war is if they send military boots on the ground. And that is not going to happen anytime soon. And you all can see what is happening. So how far can they sustain this? How far can they sustain the interceptors? Because both Israel and the Middle East allies, American allies, are going to get exhausted. And we don't know how many cheap drones Iran could be having. Don't forget that Iran have not even yet used their ballistic missiles. Examples of the Fatah 2, the ones that are called the Ghost missiles, which are not easily intercepted. Remember, these ballistic missiles, if they are going to be used, then they are going to change the battlefield into something else. So how far are they going to sustain this war? Without forgetting that Iran is continuing to choke the Middle East by closing the Strait of Hormuz. This is the global strategic shipping route for both oil and the food, about 30% of what is used in the Middle East. And now, by Iran having control of this Strait of Hormuz, it means that there is less supplies that is going in the Middle East. How long can they economically sustain to not having, especially food supplies, to their countries? So it's going to raise the diplomatic pressure where the Middle East the countries in the Middle East are going to call Washington and say, hey, we did not sign up for this. So is America going to step up, or are they going to abandon them and tell them, like, it's already a war, you're already in this? Is the Middle East countries going to retaliate, direct wars, or are they still going to wait and try to intercept as much as these drones that Iran is continuing to send? So this is a losing battle. It's a losing war that US has already started. And Iran is like, you started this, you got to finish this. To answer your question, whether Americans are going to lose the war, I'm going to answer you with a statement. Ask yourself, is this going to remain a regional conflict, or is it going to grow into a much larger confrontational between the global powers? And if that is going to happen, then I want you to learn something from history. From the Vietnamese War, the Afghanistan War, the Iraqi wars, the winning team is not about the person who strikes first. It's about the person who would survive the longest. So ask yourself this question. The way you see things going, the way you see Iran launching cheap missiles and cheap drones that are being intercepted at a very high cost of up to 10 million per missile, who's going to sustain this war the longest? If you get the answer to that, then now you know if America and Israel are going to win the war against Iran. That's my opinion and perspective, but I will be glad to know what is your opinion of the same in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this if you find it helpful. Support my podcast.